Hiya! Welcome! It's Minidisc Monday, edition number 72 today. Thank you once again for joining me. And it's time to look at some 1990s dance music again. Namely, this big selling #1 album, #1 here in the UK at the very least. It is the third studio album from the Chemical Brothers, and this is Surrender. Chemical Brothers were a big kind of crossover act at this point. Crossover as in they would have been fairly under the radar in their early days, just being a sort of underground dance act. But by the time of the third album, they'd had some hit singles. I remember Block Rocking Beats coming out a couple of years earlier and that being a big hit. Much anticipated third studio album from them, Surrender. So before I give you my thoughts on the tracks and the album overall, let's do our usual. And I'm sure you've noticed on the front here we've got a rather tatty and large, making it rather gaudy as well, hype sticker there, 2 for £22 or $13.99 each. God, those were the days where mini discs were actually reduced to get rid of them. It was obviously a HMV sale, as on the back we've got a HMV price sticker with the same information. So I don't think you can call that a hype sticker, it's just a really large promotional sticker from HMV. It does obscure the artwork. The case is in nice condition, apart from that. The booklet, not an awful lot to it, but it's okay. Colourful psychedelic stuff, and then credits, production notes and what have you on the back. The disc, finally we can see a better look at the album artwork there. Nice artwork, always liked it. Flip it over, track listing, couple of record label logos and some legal numbers. Right, so I've been looking forward to listening to this again for ages really. I've only heard it the second time today, just before recording this. I couldn't remember what I really thought about this album originally. I must have enjoyed it, because I certainly enjoyed it a lot the second time around. But we'll drill down into the tracks on Surrender. The album kicks off, obviously, with track 1, which is Music Response. That's a brilliant track, that. My favourite on the album, I think. So we're off to an absolute flyer. It came out as part of an EP after the first 3 singles were released off this, but it was ineligible for the charts because there was too many tracks on it, hence why I didn't include it in the list of singles released on the clip earlier on. But phenomenal track that, and a real highlight. The album kind of segues into the next track for the most part throughout this, and certainly it segues into track 2, Under the Influence. With the Chemical Brothers, we've got the kind of big beat that they're known for, very housey in places, this album as well. And of course there's a big psychedelic influence and sound as well. Under the Influence is good, very good I would say. Track number 3 was the third single released from the album, and it features Bernard Sumner on vocals, and he provides some guitar later on in the track as well. Out of Control. I do own that 12-inch single, it's part of my New Order and Related collection, as this album I suppose. Bernard's voice sounds really good actually. Sometimes one criticism I do have of Barney is that his voice can be a little weak or kind of lackadaisical at times, but he really sounds like he's made an effort here, though perhaps it could be the Chemical Brothers production helping him out. Apparently also Bobby Gillespie from Primal Scream provided some vocals for Out of Control, but to my ears I can't hear him. But good track. Not my very favourite on the album, but the New Order crossover obviously always pleases me, given what a big fan of Sumner and his projects I am. Number 4 is Orange Wedge. That was okay. Not one of the album's absolute highlights, but nothing bad about it. Track 6 was the second single from the album, Let Forever Be. Of course, that was co-written and also features Noel Gallagher from Oasis. It's kind of homage to the Beatles' Tomorrow Never Knows, really. Similar sort of psychedelic looping drum pattern, definitely. You know, you want a hit of psychedelia and a 60s throwback in a 90s context, then Let Forever Be is what you need, really. And it's a good choice for a single, given that Noel Gallagher and Oasis were still pretty big in 1999. I would argue that they'd peaked a couple of years prior. Decent track. Next one is the Sunshine Underground. There again, very psychedelic, and I like this better than Let Forever Be. My only gripe with it did go on a little bit long. I think it kind of just about justified its length, really. I hear some sort of Far Eastern type samples or instrumentation on the Sunshine Underground as well. Asleep from Day comes next, and then after that, another one of my favourite tracks on here, Got Glint. Very housey, just a good mesh of 1990s big beat house music here, and it dips into psychedelia. Asleep from Day, by the way, I kind of skipped over that, but that features vocals from Hope Sandoval from Mazzy Star, and it's very sort of dream pop, kind of the stuff you'd imagine Mazzy Star would have released in their heyday. So after Got Glint, we've got the lead single, and I think it got to number 3 in the UK chart, big hit, Hey Boy, Hey Girl. This is a track that I've always felt's a bit overrated, really. I think it's that whole hey girl, hey boy, superstar DJ, here we go motif that just repeats ad nauseum. The album version is certainly longer than the single edit that I'm used to hearing as well. I understand why it was the lead single. It's certainly a Chemical Brothers fans anthem. You know, you think of Chemical Brothers, and for me personally, that's one of kind of 2 or 3 tracks of theirs that instantly springs to mind. Nothing wrong with it, I just get annoyed at the superstar DJ repetition, really. Kind of grates on me after a while. Penultimate track, or sort of the penultimate track, is the title track, Surrender. Another album highlight that. Very, very good. Once again, sort of psychedelic and mystic, Indian sounding in places. Sounded like maybe some sort of sitar sample used to an extent. And then what is the final track is featuring Jonathan Donahue from Mercury Rev on vocals and presumably acoustic guitar as well, Dream On. And another sort of dream pop, indie with very slight electronica undertones to it. And of course, it sounds extremely psychedelic, as the majority of this album does. So that is the final track on the album, but there is kind of a bonus track, half a minute or so afterwards, which is essentially just a reprise, an instrumental reprise of Dream On that lasts about a minute and is pleasant enough, but as hidden tracks go, it is, like a lot of them, inessential. So that was Surrender by the Chemical Brothers, and you know what? I really enjoyed this. The album weighs in, I think, just under an hour, but even though there's a couple of tracks on here that I think maybe could have done with being cut a little bit, the album surprisingly doesn't outstay its welcome, and it does chug along nicely. It makes me want to investigate more Chemical Brothers, really. This is the only album of theirs I've got. As I say, I do also own a 12-inch single. I don't know what other stuff of theirs came out on Minidisc. Probably at least the album before this, maybe even their debut, who knows. But it's all kind of a moot point anyway, with Minidisc collecting being so prohibitively expensive these days. So just best to get this if you haven't got this album on vinyl, a reissue. I think it got reissued for its 20th anniversary a few years ago. If I want to get more Chemical Brothers, I will no doubt look for them on vinyl myself. And of course you can pick them up on CD for very cheap, as you can pretty much anyone. That is a big recommendation from me. Great album overall, not a duff track on it, and some here that is really, really good. Surrender. So that was the Chemical Brothers, and that was Minidisc Monday for today. Now before I say my goodbyes, I want to let you know about the next mini-series coming within MD Monday, which will be starting in 14 days' time, and it is Women's Month. Oh yes. Throughout the month of August, every Monday, we're going to be looking at 5 female acts, all albums led and performed by women artists that I'm yet to have covered in previous episodes of MD Monday. So if you want to see which ladies are featuring throughout the 5 Mondays throughout August, then please do join me for the start of Women's Month in 2 weeks' time. But thank you for watching today. I want to say special thanks to my wonderful subscribers and generous patrons. I'm going to go now, and as I say, please join me again in a fortnight's time, that's 2 weeks, for the start of Women's Month here on Minidisc Monday. Cheers everyone. See ya!